The peaceful village of Willow Creek, nestled beside a whispering forest, was known for its kindness and one peculiar mystery. A small, ancient stone door set into the mossy hillside. Its surface was smooth, worn by countless seasons, bearing no handle, keyhole, or visible latch. Generations had tried to coax it open, pushing with all their might, whispering secret words, offering gifts of flowers and honey, yet it remained stubbornly, silently shut. The villagers called it the tear door, for a faded inscription, almost erased by time, hinted that only sorrow held the key. Most eventually shrugged and left it to the ivy and the quiet, a forgotten puzzle in their otherwise content lives. Among them lived Elara, a young woman whose laughter was as bright as sunbeams dancing on the creek. Unlike others who approached the door with curiosity or frustration, Elara felt a strange pull towards its quiet presence. She often sat on the damp grass before it, not to force it open, but simply to be. Near its ancient stillness, she traced the cool stone with gentle fingers, humming soft tunes her grandmother had taught her, songs of love and loss carried on the breeze. She wondered about the hands that had shaped it, the hearts that might have known the grief required to unlock its secret. Her attempts were gentle offerings of shared silence, hoping the door might sense her empathy, yet it remained unmoved, a silent sentinel guarding its mystery. Years flowed by like the creek, carrying away childhood innocence. Then, a cruel winter stole the warmest presence from Elara's life. Her beloved father. The vibrant village seemed muted, colors dulled, laughter hollow. Grief, a heavy, cold cloak she couldn't shed, settled upon her shoulders one evening, drawn by a desperate need for solitude. Away from well-meaning but suffocating sympathy, she found herself stumbling towards the familiar hillside. The setting sun cast long, mournful shadows, painting the tear door in hues of deep violet and gray. She sank to her knees before it, the cold earth seeping through her skirt, the weight of her loss crushing her heart into dust. Memories flooded her, her father's strong hands teaching her to carve wood, his voice telling stories by the hearth, the safe comfort of his embrace. The ache was a physical wound, sharp and relentless. Tears, held back for days, finally overflowed, tracing hot paths down her chilled cheeks. She didn't wipe them away. This sorrow was too vast, too deep. One large, heavy tear trembled on her chin, catching the last glimmer of twilight, before it fell silently through the air. Time seemed to slow. It landed not on the grass, but upon the cool, unyielding stone of the door itself, right where the inscription had been worn smooth. A perfect, glistening drop of purest sorrow. A sound, soft as a sigh released after centuries of holding breath, whispered through the still air where the tear touched the stone. A faint, warm golden light pulsed, spreading outward in intricate, glowing lines like liquid starlight, tracing hidden veins within the rock. Elara gasped, her breath catching in her throat, her tear-filled eyes wide with disbelief. The light grew brighter, illuminating the moss and the ivy, chasing away the twilight shadows. Then, without a groan or scrape, the solid stone that had defied generations began to move. It swung inward, smooth and silent, revealing not darkness but a soft, inviting radiance spilling out onto the damp grass where she knelt. Hesitantly, her heart pounding like a trapped bird against her ribs, Elara rose on trembling legs and stepped through the threshold. The air inside was warm and fragrant, carrying the sweet scent of unseen blossoms and sun-warmed earth. She found herself not in a cave, but in a hidden garden bathed in perpetual, gentle twilight. Luminous flowers bloomed on vines that climbed unseen walls, their petals shimmering with soft internal light. A crystal-clear spring bubbled musically in the center, feeding lush ferns and velvety mosses that carpeted the ground. It was a sanctuary of profound peace, a world folded within the hill, untouched by time or sorrow. The very air hummed with tranquility, seeping into her weary bones. Standing beside the spring, Elara felt the crushing weight of her grief begin, not to vanish, but to soften, like a jagged stone smoothed by a gentle stream. This hidden place didn't erase her pain. Instead, it held it tenderly, allowing space for it to exist without consuming her. She understood then the door's profound truth. It hadn't demanded sadness for sadness' sake. It required the raw, authentic expression of a broken heart. Only genuine, soul-deep sorrow freely shed possessed the power to unlock this refuge, this sacred space where healing could begin under the watchful glow of the luminous garden. It was a testament that the deepest wounds could sometimes open the way to unexpected solace. She sat by the water, letting the garden's quiet magic soothe her spirit, knowing her father's love would always be part of her, now held gently within this space born from a single, sacred tear.